Welcome to Capital Africa. Today we are counting down the major African cities with the lowest rent cost at the start of the year 2026. Quick question. If you had to rent a home in a major African city this year, which city do you think would be the cheapest? Addis, Cape Town, Johannesburg or Accra? Let's find out. This ranking is based on rent index data from Numbeo, one of the world's largest cost of living databases. Using city-level rental price comparison, we will be starting with the most expensive city on the list and counting down to the cheapest place to rent in the continent of Africa. So what the rent index numbers actually mean? The rent index is relative, not a currency. A rent index of 21, for instance, means that average rent price in that city at about 21% of the rent level in the city of New York, which Numbeo uses as its global reference point. So, for example, a city with a rent index of 21 is far cheaper than New York. A city with a rent index of 10 is roughly half as expensive as a city ranked at 20. Within this list, higher numbers mean higher rent pressure and lower numbers mean cheaper rent. So, as we count down, rent gets cheaper. Let's begin the countdown. In number 10, we have Addis Ababa with a rent index of 21.1. Addis Ababa is the most expensive city to rent among the cities on the list. Despite being Ethiopia's political and economic center, rental costs remain high relative to income levels in this city. Rent alone can consume a significant share of monthly earnings, leaving limited room for food, transport, or savings. At number 9, with a rent index of 21, is Abidjan, a fast-growing commercial hub with rising demand for housing. As the city expands, rental pressures continues to increase here, pushing many workers towards shared housing or long commutes. In number 8, we have Cape Town with a rent index of 20.8. Strong tourism, lifestyle appeal, and limited housing supply keep rents elevated in the city of Cape Town. Many residents are priced out of central areas in the city, leading to increased reliance on shared apartments or suburban living. At number 7, with a rent index of 14.4, it is Windhoek in Namibia, a smaller rental market with less speculative pressure. Rent is noticeable but generally manageable here, especially compared to larger metropolitan cities on the list. In the number 6 goes to Johannesburg for a rent index of 13. Despite being one of Africa's largest economic hubs, rent remains relatively controlled in this city of South Africa. Lower rental costs help support small businesses, entrepreneurs, and a more flexible workforce. At number 5, again, it is Pretoria from South Africa, with a rent index of 12.6. Here, government presence helps stabilize housing demand. Lower rent allows households to spend more on education, healthcare, and transport. In number 4, with a rent index of 11, Harare comes the first place. Despite broader economic challenge, rental costs remain relatively low in the city of Harare in Zimbabwe. Affordable housing helps cushion households from wider financial pressure that exists within this city. Taking the third spot with a rent index of 11 is again Durban from South Africa, a major coastal city with comparatively low rental pressures compared to other cities on the list. Low rent supports disposable income and strengthens service-based employment in this big city. Just missing the top spot is Accra with 10.8 rent index. Despite being a major business and diplomatic hub, rental costs in the city of Accra, Ghana remain surprisingly very low. Lower housing costs help startups, freelancers, and informal businesses to stay viable every day. Before we reveal the city with the lowest rent cost in Africa for the year 2026 according to Numbeo, if you are enjoying this breakdown, like the video, subscribe to Capital Africa, and turn on notifications for more ranking like this. In number 1, we have Tangier, and the cheapest major African city to rent in 2026 is Tangier. Balanced housing supply, strong logistics economy, and controlled rental pressure keeps rent costs low. Affordable housing continues to attract workers, entrepreneurs, and international firms setting up regional bases in this town. That wraps up our list of the top 10 major African cities with the lowest rent cost in the year 2026. Which city surprised you the most? Let's know in the comments below. Thanks for watching Capital Africa.